All right, here we go. My name is Travis Neville. This is the Travis Neville Podcast. It is September 11th, 2025, and we've seen some tough things here. It is the anniversary of some pretty extreme political violence on our country. I remember very clearly where I was, what I was doing, how I felt that day. I was student teaching at Lake Orion High School in Michigan, or at least I should have been. And I remember thinking I should have been with my kids that day. As a result, I wasn't there for outside reasons. But I remember how that felt to be attacked, to have our country and our belief system attacked over some political shit. And I felt the same way yesterday, on September 10th, 2025, when Charlie Kirk got killed, got assassinated. It is a fucked up situation. I didn't know the guy. I didn't know him personally at all, but I find that it's fucking with me. Like, it's weighing on me. It's making me feel bad. It's making me feel defeated. It's making me feel negative. And then today I'm in the gym and it's popping into my head, and I've got my music playing, and my eyes catch this American flag that's in the gym, made out of fire hoses. And I felt myself being radicalized. I did. I felt myself ready to pick up my guns. Yeah, the last time I felt like that, I was 26 years old, doing teaching in high school. That was the last time, September 11th. That's the last time I felt like I need to do something here. And the Charlie Kirk thing makes me feel like I need to do something. And that's why I'm on this. That's why I'm recording today. I haven't recorded in a few months. I usually don't do much in the summertime because I'm working outside, but this is a pretty big deal. And one of the first things I did, I have an Instagram group with a bunch of guys who have been on my podcast before. Impressive, intelligent, active men who are great leaders, to a man. And I basically asked for help. Okay, guys, I'm not sure what to do about this. I've got people asking me what to do, and I'm frozen. Like, there's fight, flight, and there's freeze. And that shit yesterday froze me. I felt like Charlie Kirk was the only thing pushing back against a university system that is hell-bent on radicalizing people into wokeness. And Charlie Kirk was one of the few guys that had the balls to stand up to that and be a balancing force to that. And it feels like now the floodgates of that junk that our education system is pushing is now, there are no checks on it. And that's not good. It's not good. I'm a product of that system. Granted, it was 30 years ago when things weren't nearly as extreme as they are now. I remember feeling that way when I was an undergrad in the late 90s, thinking, man, I can't believe how much political shit they're pushing. What this agenda of liberalism that they're pushing down our throats. I remember being very frustrated by that. I can't imagine what it must be like now. And Charlie Kirk was balancing that out. I wasn't a religious guy back then. I didn't have any faith, and I wasn't a God guy, nothing like that. So I didn't really have the system that I was being pushed out of me, it was just, I knew I didn't like it. And I knew I didn't like being told what I'm supposed to think, which for me, I'm one of those guys, hey, don't touch that. It's hot. Hey, don't tell me what to do. I'm touching it. So I don't, maybe that's what it was. It just like for my personality type, it didn't work. But anyway, that's how I feel about the Charlie Kirk thing. And I'm not here to tell you how I feel. I'm here to share that you're not the only one who's feeling that way, because I am too. And, you know, what happens in those situations in academia? These are people who have never left academia. They've never been in the quote unquote real world. They never had a real job. They've never understood the concept of complete or not complete, paid or not paid, correct, not correct, pass, fail, as far as my world is very tangible. Build things with my hands. I coach high school football. If we either won or we lost, things are, the light switch is either on or it's off. There's not a lot of space for thoughts, feelings, intentions. Just either you got the job done or you didn't. And I think that's the real world right there in a nutshell. And the people who are in the colleges, they don't have any concept of that. So of course they push what their normal is. Roundabout way, what I'm saying is, how do we deal with it? And that's what the questions that keep getting asked of me. And I haven't had an answer until, again, Matthew Boudreau, Ray Gardner, Jack Donovan, the Adam Allred, these guys who I get to call friends that I know through doing this stuff. They are all echoing this same sentiment, which is exactly what I'm going to echo, and that's that we need to lead. You're a man. You have people who are counting on you, so you're going to lead, right? What does that look like? Well, it looks like, first, stay calm. Right? We all know that. Nobody's going to trust you or respect you or follow you if you're freaking out, okay? So calm yourself down, deal with it, and then move forward. Have an answer on how to move forward and execute that answer. And I know I'm still beating around the bush here, but I'm going to give you the answer. This is it. It isn't, most of you are armed. I'm well armed. It isn't go out and start shooting people with rainbow flags in front of their house. That really escalates shit. It isn't, these are other Americans, okay? When I see that in front of somebody's house, I feel sadness and pity. I feel, wow, man, you are a little more mentally weak and you got bamboozled. You got indoctrinated. And I feel sorry for you. But at the end of the day, you're still an American. And so I will protect you. It's our job as men, protect and provide. Think about, I've talked about this before, when Jack talks about this, the fire, the circle around the fire. Who cut the wood and built the fire and keeps it running? Well, you do, man. Okay. And your people get to enjoy the warmth and the light of that fire and bathe in it and bask in it. And in that open area, in that safe space, they get to experience things like love and creativity and all these things that if there were an actual physical threat, it wouldn't even be on your radar. They do. Your people get to experience that because of the fire that you built. You define the fire as you will. That's your home that you've built. That's your family. That's the love that you've created between all of you. You get to do that. But outside of that firelight, that's where the danger is. Okay, that's where the bad guys are. And the wrong thing to do is to pick up your arms and start shooting into the darkness. All right, that's not going to help. But what you can do is this. Since the beginning of the woke cancel culture period, you as straight white men and other, men of all varieties, if you're leading your family, same team, brother, have been told to shut the fuck up. That your opinion doesn't mean anything, and you've had these thoughts that you've quelled down and pushed down, and you've got a few friends maybe that you can talk to about it, but you certainly don't talk to about it at work or in your family. You have been self-censoring. I'm going to give you an example, and I talked about this on a podcast a few years ago. couple years ago. I'm sitting in a circle of guys, friends of my friend, and the women are out in the living room watching this. We're watching a sporting event, whatever it is, and we're standing in the kitchen with the guys. And this commercial comes on, and it's this woman talking about how women retire with less money than men. And they go on and on about it and blah, blah, whatever. It's a TV commercial. I can't remember what the product they were selling was, other than divisiveness and, hate. And I watched two of these guys just like get this consternated look on their face and just shake their heads. And I called them out. I'm like, bro, say something. I know why women retire with less money, and so do you. They don't work as many hours. Right? They take maternity leave. Anytime their kid's sick, they're the ones going home. They don't have the nuts to sack up and ask for the raise. That's why women make less money. Plus, let's not ignore the high dollar fields. Women aren't in them. Not a lot of women in finance. Not a lot of women. There are more and more doctors and lawyers, but the real big dollar stuff, that's men. And men have it in them to compete, to take risks, to be bold. And that's how you get ahead. That's how you make all the money. That's how that works. There's a million reasons why women retire with less. And it isn't because there's a gender pay gap. There's not. You know there's not. I know there's not. But you're not telling anybody else that. All right? That is the answer to this Charlie Kirk situation. Okay? We are in need of a purge in this country. A lot of people need to relearn how important real men are. A lot of people need to relearn that the only reason they get to feel and think and say woke bullshit is because real men are protecting them from the people that would fucking kill them. That's it. Okay? And you can do that just by, letting loose a little bit, speaking a little bit more, pulling someone aside and explaining how things really are. I'm sitting in just Tuesday this week, 2 days ago. I'm over by my cabin, and I noticed down the way that my aunt and uncle are there. Great people. Couldn't love them more. So excited to see them. So we sat there and we started talking. A couple of beers, whatever. And my aunt, very intelligent lady, I've nothing but respected and loved her my whole life, says, she asks, what do you, why did you get into writing these books? And I started doing it a long time ago. I'm surprised she hadn't asked me before. He said, when you first started doing that, I thought you were just crazy. And so I explained to her how important good men are and what's been lacking lately. And she happens to have a grandson who is trans or whatever you call them. And that's caused a lot of waves in their family. I don't mean out you guys, but so she's starting to see that the end result of good men not saying, no, you're not going to fucking do that. All right. No, that's not how this is going to go. When you self-censor and you ignore your gut as a man, you are hurting everyone around you. And I'm not talking about your anger or your frustration. I'm talking about your gut feeling. You have a gut feeling on this Charlie Kirk thing, just like I did. I do. Share it. You have a gut feeling about women retiring with less money. Share it. You have a gut feeling about your grandson who thinks he's a girl. Share it. You have the ability to change this shit. Okay, all of these stupid ideas that are leading to this incredible radicalization. And again, I admitted to you earlier that I felt myself getting radicalized earlier today. I did. The shit works, guys. Propaganda, they use it. They've used it for centuries because it fucking works. Right? Technology has changed over the last 100 years drastically. Your genetics haven't. Human psychology hasn't changed. It's exactly the same as it's always been. You are just as susceptible to that shit as you've always been. The more you hear a message, the more you believe it. Just what it is. So be part of the message that's saying something different. That's what you can do, man. It is your responsibility as a man, most of your fathers, to raise your children and keep the people in your world safe. Sometimes the best thing is to let them fail and see what happens. I mean, that's part of being a father. Let your kid fall down, skin his knee. He'll cry a little bit, but it'll heal, and he'll realize that wasn't that bad. I'm not going to let it stop me from taking chances and risks and things that are going to make me move forward in this world. I'm not going to let that stop me. But fear, right? Because that's all the left is. That's all wokeism is. It's just a bunch of people who are afraid. They use this term fascist, and all they really mean is bully, someone who made me feel bad, right? All these words just have turned into, I don't need to go into that part of it, but you can fix that. Be a good man. Be vocal about it. And here's the cheat code. Well, here's a heads up I should give you. Spoiler alert, not cheat code. They're not going to like it. Your kids like it when you punish them, when you discipline them for something? Of course they don't. But is it the best thing for them? Yes, it is. Okay? You have to look at all of your circle that way. Not that you're better and smarter, and no, but you have a gut opinion and you have a responsibility to lead them and protect them. And sometimes that might be, I don't know, I had this scenario in my head. I'm out for a run today, and I'm running through like in a downtown neighborhood area. That's what's next to my gym. And I'm wearing this T-shirt from Awaken with JP. If you haven't checked him out, he's awesome. Awaken with JP. It says, pro-gun, anti-idiot. And I'm running up this sidewalk, and I see these two ladies. They're walking the same direction I am. And one of them hears my footsteps and turns around and double takes and reads my shirt. And I see her, like, their conversation quieted down immediately, right? And this other lady, same thing. They just immediately stopped talking. And once as I was jogging past, I'm like, good morning. And one of them says, morning. And I could tell that it was, they read my shirt. They didn't like it. So I stopped. I kind of slowed down, and I turned around and I said, it's men like me that allow you to be able to think the way you're thinking right now. And I kept on running. Now, I'm sure that they just filed that in the category of, oh, he's a Trumper, and he's just evil, and he's a fascist. I'm sure they did. But I know that they don't even get to think thoughts like that if it isn't for like me, who are willing to do what I have to do to defend that flag made out of fire hoses. I like this country. I like living here. Now, if you want to get political, whatever blows your hair back. But know that politicians, they're just puppets. All they're going to do is say what you want to hear so that you'll vote for them. That's it. They're just a reflection of you. That's it. They're just reflecting back what they think you want to hear so that they can be in power. This isn't about politics at all. I suppose it is, but politics isn't the root of it. It's human nature. And I think that's another thing the left has way fucking out of whack, is they think that they can perfect humanity somehow. Well, as I said, technology's changed. Genetics have not. We are the same animals we've always been. Not much is going to change. Okay? You can't policy your way out of humanity. It doesn't work that way. Still an animal. You can accept it, know what it is, be prepared for it, or you can imagine that it's not happening. That's where I'm at with it. I don't even know where I am time-wise here, but Charlie Kirk thing, it's still really getting to me. I'm afraid it's going to lead to much more terrible things. And if you're one of the people who needs an outlet for that, I just gave it to you. Use your words, brother. Lead strongly. Be firm. Be accountable. Hey, I said that. I'll deal with it. I'm not going to backpedal. I'm not going to take it back. I'm sure as hell not going to apologize. This is what my gut tells me to do. Step forward and I'm going to say it. That's how you lead. Leaders aren't timid. Leaders don't self-censor. All right? That's what you do. My name is Travis Neville. This is the Travis Neville Podcast. I hope that in some way today's show helped you to get your shit together. And if you can, and if that's your thing, pray for our country, because we're in a pretty bad place. Good luck to you all.